Alright, it says excellent connection, so we should be good to go. And if you are here, give me a comment, let me know. I was actually having issues trying to figure out how to go live. I did the test run last Friday to make sure I knew exactly what I was doing, and everything seemed to work good. And then I decided, I would do live streams like every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So I go live, and it took me like 45 minutes to figure out exactly what I needed to do because it didn't work this time whenever I wanted it to. But I believe we should be good to go, though. But it says we got 5 viewers, but we don't have anybody commenting yet. But for the people that are here, the video I did for the process of driving a vehicle again after a spinal cord injury, the article for spinalcord.com was posted yesterday, apparently, but I got notified about it today, so I updated the links in that video, and I will comment in the chat with a link to that article if you want to check it out. And I haven't read it. I haven't even read it yet, so I don't know if they edited anything or not. But I was just scrolling through it before I went live, and everything seems to. I mean, it looks good to me. And it has my video on there, and pictures with my hand controls and stuff. The easy lock system where it locks me in the floorboard, and a picture of me pumping my gas back when I had long hair last year. Oh, we're up to 8 viewers. Who's going to be the first one to comment in the chat? Jonathan Anderson, how you doing? I don't recognize that name, but thanks for joining, and I don't believe I've seen you comment on any of my videos. Maybe you're a new viewer, so welcome. Love your videos. Thanks, Jonathan. Are you new? Are you a new viewer, or have you been watching my videos for a while? I'm looking at the different options here for the video chat. I can report, remove, put user in timeout, and add moderators. Oh yeah, we're up to 2 likes. And let me try something real quick. You've been watching for a while. Well, I appreciate you watching. And I'm going to see if I can do something. I want to try to find a picture of some food. Here we go. Some food that I had at the hospital back whenever I was at the Rehabilitation Hospital of Indiana. And I'm going to see if I can get this pulled up on the screen to where you can see it. So let me do this here. And I am curious. Let's see here. Desktop. Okay. I'm going to cover up the, actually I can put this over here. Let me get this moved over. Okay, I am curious if you can see, if you can see this if you can see this food on the screen. I believe you can. And if you're watching, I want you to guess what you think it is. This is food that I got at the hospital whenever I was at the Rehabilitation Hospital of Indiana doing rehab, and I just got I had my both jaws wired shut because I broke the top and bottom jaw, and I had them wired shut, so I hadn't been able to eat anything for a while. And whenever I was starting to eat stuff, it was like pureed to where it was like the consistency of applesauce. And they gave me a menu to fill out for what I wanted to eat during the week, and this was the first thing I chose. And whenever I got it, I was quite surprised. And let's just say I didn't eat it. Luckily, I had family members there that were able to go get me some, like, McDonald's or Taco Bell, I believe. And whenever I had I lost my sense of smell pretty much since my spinal cord injury, so I can't smell anything, but they did tell me that it smelled terrible, and if it smelled just as bad as it looked, I would believe it. And I was wondering if anybody that's watching has had any experiences with bad food while you're in the hospital. Well, now that I know I can do that, let's just see what else I can do.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody commenting, so my guess is that you don't have a clue what it is, but you can still give it a shot. Well, we're up to 3 likes. If you're watching, I'd like for you to comment in the chat. So, alright, Cora Sanders says, well, it's probably chicken, but I'm too polite to say what it really looks like. Well, you are pretty close. And, well, you're the closest guess so far. But yeah, it was glazed pork loin is what it was. And let me see if I can get this on the screen right here. Later last year, October 19th to be exact, I was actually able to get glazed pork loin from somewhere else, like, well, 4 years, like 4.5 years later, basically. So let's see if I can get this. Unloaded. Okay. This is what I think it should have looked like. Right here. This is glazed pork loin. But Cora Sanders, have you had any experiences with hospital food like that? No. Yeah. Yeah, you're not missing much. Let's see here. Well, we're at 10 viewers right now, so if you're just coming in, you missed some talk about some really good food that I had in the hospital.
This is about like watching a Bill Vance tournament.
Okay. Well, I was able to upload at least one or create one YouTube video each day this week, and let's see what all I created. Um, well, I haven't uploaded today's video yet because I was going to do this live stream. So, the first one that I did was my standing routine for exercises, where I show you how I get in my standing frame, my evolved standing frame, and how I stand each day of the week, and show that process. And the second one was driving with hand controls on the road. So I went driving my van on the road, showing how I do that, and went and got some ice cream. It was really expensive ice cream too. And then the next day was the process of driving again, which I basically outlined my experiences and the process that I had to go through to be able to drive again, because I know that's not well known, at least whenever I was trying to look into it um, a while back before I actually got my hand controls. So I figured a video on that would be really cool and helpful. And then the next one was returning to school, my advice and experience, which is, or basically I tell my experience of continuing my education after my spinal cord injury and doing classes from a wheelchair pretty much, and what I recommend and what I prefer and what I've learned by doing that, and hopefully that will help out others that have questions about being able to continue their education after they get a spinal cord injury. And the next video was a joystick knob for power wheelchairs, and the joystick was made by Cripple Concepts, which is a really cool small company out in Colorado, I believe. And it's the owner is Josh Winkler, and I basically show and review my thoughts, give my thoughts on this joystick that I got off of Cripple Concepts, and I've had it on a little over a year now, and I'm extremely happy with it. So be sure to check those videos out. And yesterday I uploaded a motivational video, sort of, for called Getting Through Difficult Times, my advice. And I basically tell a little bit of a story of whenever I was going through difficult times, or well, my rock bottom, which was about 1 year after my spinal cord injury, and how I got through that. And so be sure to check that out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 videos, and then today will be day 7 with the live stream. And I probably won't get the video uploaded today that I was wanting to, but I will tomorrow. But this will count as today's upload. So we've got some more comments in here. Cindy Payton says, "Hi Mason, I appreciate you making your videos. They are so helpful. Thank you very much. Even just simple things like cutting food, types of utensils that work best. They're helpful for new ideas and problem solving." Yep, You're welcome, and I agree. Um, I started making these videos after, well, about a little after a year after my spinal cord injury, because I was new, obviously, to the spinal cord injury experience, and I was trying to find information online as far as like videos on how to do stuff, and I couldn't, so I took it upon myself to try and figure things out on my own and then share them on YouTube for other people to um, watch and hopefully help them out. Maxwell Hampton says, how long are you in the hospital? And did you always have wrist and forearm function? So my wreck happened on January 19th of 2015, and I was taken to a local hospital and then lifeline to Eskenazi Hospital in Indianapolis, Indiana. And I stayed there for 30 days, and then I got transferred to the Rehabilitation Hospital of Indiana, or RHI, and I was there for 29 days. So I was away. I was in the hospital for 59 days, and I came home after 59 days, not because I was ready to come home physically, but because that's all my insurance would pay for. So out the door I went. And did you always have wrist and arm function? I believe I've always had tenodesis, or well, a little bit of tenodesis, um, but I think I've had wrist extension mostly, but as far as wrist flexion, I've always had that, but I haven't always had it to where I can do this. I don't know if you can see where I can do that because gravity. I remember whenever I was in the hospital, and my mom would always have me, like each day she would have me do this, try to do this. And I'd been doing that, trying to do that for like a week. And I finally told her no. And she told me to try it again, or just try it that day. And I did it, and it came up like that, and it like blew my mind. And then like I realized that I'm actually improving, and it's hard telling what all I'll get back. But I believe I have had wrist extension most of the time. Um, I believe I got wrist flexion later on, but I don't know what this is called, but I got that like maybe like 45 days after my injury, to where I could like, but it wasn't this good. It was more like that um, in the hospital. And forearm function. Well, I don't know about forearm function, but I know I'm right hand dominant, but my left arm is stronger, and I can do this with my left arm like, I don't know, maybe 50 times without it getting tired. But my right arm, I can't do it. Like if I bring it up like this, I can't do anything. But if I bring my left one up, I can go up like that. Also, with this 5-pound weight over here, like with this 5-pound weight, I do this on Fridays, and one of the exercises I do is, well, let me back up real quick. One of the exercises that I do this is like this. So I can bring this up like this. But if I try to do that with my right hand or right arm, it's nothing. I can't do anything. It just stays right here pretty much. But this one, I can do this, and I do that 30 times. So basically what I'll do, instead of getting a dumbbell on each hand, I'll just use a dumbbell on my left hand, which is stronger, or arm, and I'll leave this one empty, and I'll just do this. So this one has the weight and this one doesn't, and it still works fine. Jonathan Anderson says, do you use anything special to help with typing? Not anymore, but I used to, and I can show you that real quick. Alright. I used to use these in the early days of my injury for typing. This is what it is. I got 2 of them, and basically what it is just a big piece of plastic with a little rubber tip on the end, and you can see how it's shaped there. And I believe you're supposed to put your hand in here like this, but you can see that my fingers hit this right here, and it kind of hurts after a while. So I believe actually you're supposed to do it this way, to where your hands will curl under, like this. And you can see this had a Velcro strap there, but I took it off because it really wasn't doing anything. But yeah, that's how I typed early on, and I do have a video on YouTube showing this, but I'll show you right now if I can, so you can see this is basically how you do it. And you just basically type like this, and here's the other one over here, so I'd put that in my left hand, this one in my right, and then I just type away. But now, after I've gotten used to now that I've gotten used to my hands the way they are, as far as like how to do different stuff, even though they're not very like movable and stuff, I just use my knuckle and my index finger to type. So I will just do tenodesis like this to open my fingers, and then I will type around like this, basically like this, and I'll put my index finger or knuckle right there on the key, and I can just about type just as fast as I did before my wreck. And then my left hand I use for like the left shift button and the left control, or the left tab, or escape. But other than that, I just use my right hand, and I just pack all the way around, and it seems to work good. I've written several articles for websites and school assignments and all kinds of stuff like that. Cindy Payton says, your tenodesis is nice and tight, very functional. Yes. I work with some folks a few months out from my injury, and it's very loose, even being careful with what? I'm not exactly sure what PROM is. Cindy, could you explain? But yeah, my tenodesis is good. And I was told at the Rehabilitation Hospital of Indiana to not stretch out my fingers. But before they told me that, I would have my mom like massage my fingers and hand because it was like hurting because my hands were like curled up like this, but it used to be like they were curled up more like that. Um, and then they told us that, and I never understood why, but now I do because like if you stretch them too much, like if they're not supposed to be stretched like that, then you can, damage the function that you already have maybe. But as far as any tips, um, I was told, I was then told by these therapists at this hand doctor that I went to because I was thinking about getting surgery to where they take my muscle from like my bicep muscle in my arm and move it down to my fingers or hand to where I could get more function out of my fingers. And they like did an evaluation of me and stuff, and my fingers were too tight at the time, and they told me that I needed to stretch them out, and I told them that I was told not to stretch them out. And they said that I can stretch them out, but you have to do it the proper way. And they showed me what to do. So basically, um, like, we know tenodesis, where wrist extension is this, wrist flexion is this, and basically you only want to stretch out your fingers in this if your hand is in this wrist flexion mode right here like this, or um, because um, this is supposed to open your hand, this is supposed to close your hand, so you don't want your wrist to be like this and stretch out your fingers here. You want your wrist to be like this and stretch out your fingers, so that way you keep the function in your hands with the tenodesis, so you don't ruin that. And I do have a video on that. Um, I believe it's called wrist or uh, finger exercises or something like that. Wondering if you wrapped your fingers into a fist for a few hours a day. I've heard that helps. I have never done that. Um, I would say that might help if your fingers are too loose, maybe. But no, I've never done that. So, do we have any more questions or any topics that you want me to talk about? So, Cindy, does that answer your question? And you said that PROM stands for passive range of motion. Yeah, I've never heard of that acronym. I know what range of motion is. Let me look up passive range of motion. Oh, Okay, so basically passive range of motion is range of motion or moving your limbs with no effort on your own, only like somebody else, like a therapist. Whereas active range of motion is, or AROM, is where the patient performs the exercises to move the joint without any assistance. Without any assistance to the muscles surrounding the joint. That makes sense. I mean, I heard of, range of motion, but not passive or active range of motion. Do you have a skin care routine, pressure reliefs routine? I'm an occupational therapist. That makes sense. That's how you've heard of that then. Well, thanks for watching, and I hope I can help you understand some stuff, maybe from like a first person view, or a view from somebody that has a spinal cord injury. Do I have a skin care routine? Pressure reliefs routine. As far as pressure reliefs go, I finally, well, after like a year or so, see, I'd always have to remind myself to do the pressure reliefs, but then eventually I got to where I do them automatically without thinking about it. So now it's like I do them, like, I don't know, I'd say every 10 minutes or so, where basically I just go like this. I put an elbow on one armrest and put my hand on the other one, and then I lean over to my elbow side and push myself up and hold it for a few seconds. And then I'll switch sides, put the elbow down over here and the hand here, and push up and hold that for a few seconds. And then sometimes I will also grab underneath my knee and move this leg on top of this one. And then I will use my armrest on the back side of my forearm and like push myself up to like straighten my back. And then I will do one of these where I push on the my foot back like this by my toes, and that basically stretches the muscle in my legs to keep it from spasming. And then I'll do it with the other one. But this one is broke. My femur's broke, so it doesn't bend as good. But I do the same thing. I have to hold down here on this one because, like I said, it doesn't bend as good, so it'll fall off my knee. But as far as pressure reliefs go, that's what I do there. And the skincare routine, there's basically baby powder that I put on my bottom basically every morning before I get dressed. And used to, like in the summer, I would sweat and it would cause my bottom to get red. So that's when I started using that powder stuff. And one time I got like this infection thing, like a fungus thing on my skin. And I've been putting powder on ever since, pretty much, and haven't really had any issues. And Maxwell Hampton says, have you ever thought about using a manual chair? Yes, and I have a manual chair. It's a Tylite Aero T manual wheelchair. I got it thinking like I would much prefer to be in a manual wheelchair than a power wheelchair. But then after I got it, I realized it wasn't it wasn't smart of me to do that because being a quadriplegic means I have, paralysis in all four limbs, meaning my legs and my arms. So the muscles that I do have don't, or the muscles that I do have to overcompensate to work for the muscles that I don't have. So basically, I put more strain on the muscles and that I have, and my arms aren't made like to do the same things as legs do, pretty much. And I know a lot of people that are in manual wheelchairs that have to have shoulder surgery or replacements after 10 years of being in a manual wheelchair. So I use my power chair like 99% of the time, and my manual chair when I have to. Um, and how was your core function? Um, well, my core function, I mean, I basically I can twist around like this if I push off of something, and I can lean forward a little bit, but um, as far as like doing sit-ups from laying down like flat on the floor, can't do that. Cindy Page says, yes, you do, and it means more to my clients to see you do something than me to try to suggest. So, wow, that's awesome. So you use my videos to help your patients, which I have had people comment on my videos in the past about that, and I always thought that was awesome. One of my most viewed video is actually one on tenodesis, and I can't remember how many views it has, but pretty much everybody that views that video is like a therapist in college, or like a college student going to be like a physical or occupational therapist, and they watch that video to understand the concept of what tenodesis is and how it works, and I always thought that was really cool. Marky76 says, hi man, how are you now in these times? I'm doing alright. I'm assuming by these times you mean with the coronavirus and stuff going on. I pretty much stay home all day and I work from home while this is going on, so I'm good there. But I am ready to have this thing lifted to where we can go out in public and go get something to eat. And Cora Sanders says, are you taking classes remotely? Yeah, I've basically been taking classes online, online college classes, ever since I started taking classes after my spinal cord injury. And online classes are awesome, way better than in-class classes, like on-campus classes, in my opinion. I made a video about that just a couple days ago, so be sure to check that out if you haven't watched it. But yes, I am taking online classes right now for my bachelor's degree in information technology. Last spring, I graduated with an associate's degree in information technology, and now I'm going for my bachelor's degree. But yeah, I'm taking classes online, and I was taking classes online before my injury, or before this virus. So nothing has really changed as far as that goes. And Marky76 is staying at home. Here also, hope it's getting better soon. Yep, I agree with you. Well, we're up to 13 viewers. I can't remember how many viewers we had last week. Any other topics that come to mind? So what is everybody doing during this coronavirus to stay busy? I started making videos again, as you can see, and my goal is to make one a day, but I don't know how long that is going to last. We're at 14 viewers. Tanner Lynn says, I have my bachelor's in IT as well. I have cerebral palsy. That's awesome, man. I love IT. How long have you had your bachelor's degree, Tanner? Marky76 says, getting used to being confined in wheelchair at home a bit, but sometimes I go out for some rolling. Yep, it's always good to get some fresh air going. And the sun. Cora says that I'm a teacher. Doing classes online for my elementary kids has been quite a learning curve. Well, yeah. I think it'd be easier to be a student online than a teacher online. For sure. This is Wheel Life says, hey, what's up, man? How you doing, bud? Oh yeah, I'm really enjoying this live chat here. We got some nice stuff going on there. You able to get out and about much? Yeah, up until this virus, as far as you know, the restrictions about going out in public and being 6 feet apart. Other than that, yes. but I've been staying home ever since this virus pretty much started. And Tanner graduated in 2013. Jonathan Anderson says all that he's been doing is Facebook and watching TV and YouTube and talking on my ham radio. Yep, I've been doing YouTube videos as far as creating them and also watching them. And school, which I'm ahead. I got everything done in school besides the final exams, so I am a couple weeks ahead there. And then I'm working from home, which hasn't been too busy as far as that goes. And we are at 52 minutes and 21 seconds. So for the people that weren't here a while ago, let me show you something real quick. And this here is some food that I had in the hospital that I was showing the viewers earlier in the stream. And this is some food that I had at the hospital in rehab. Well, I didn't have it. They brought it to me, and I didn't eat it. That is some nice glazed pork loin that I ordered, but it's pureed, which is like the consistency of applesauce. And it was supposedly smelled terrible. Hey, Uber driver, how you doing, man? Uber drivers commenting to this is We Alive, saying what's up. That he watches his Let's Chat monologue sometimes. We're at 5 likes and 12 viewers, 13 viewers right now. But here in about 5 minutes, it's probably when I'll end the stream. So if you got any questions or anything you want to say, go ahead and put it on the chat. And I am going to post this here in the chat. This is an article that was published yesterday on spinalcord.com with featuring my video on the process of driving again after a spinal cord injury and basically different things that you need to know. So check that out. And let me know what you think. And Marky76 says, don't look like food. Nope, it doesn't. Maxwell Hamilton says, did your cough ever get stronger? And weird question, can you laugh? Because after my injury, I am no longer able to laugh out loud. I just teared up in my eyes. Did my cough ever get stronger? I would say yeah, but that's because, well, I tried making it stronger. Not necessarily my cough, but I tried making my lungs stronger. And I do have a video on how to strengthen your lungs. Um, but yeah, it's definitely still weak. It's like if I get choked on something, or if like liquid goes down the wrong way, and it takes so much effort to try and get that cleared up. And weird question, can I laugh? I mean, yes, I can laugh, but not like I used to at all. Like it's like a silent laugh pretty much, and then it's just a big old gasp for air, and then laughing hard again. So Maxwell, what level of, I'm assuming you have a spinal cord injury. What level is your injury? And also anybody watching can comment on that too, saying what their injury level is. Marky 76 is a T12. I was classified as a complete C5 in the hospital at Rehabilitation Hospital of Indiana. When I was doing rehab, um, I was classified as a complete C5 quadriplegic based on my level of function. And I don't know how they did it for you guys watching, but for me, they had me close my eyes. I was laying in bed. They closed my eyes. They had me close my eyes, and they took like this needle and started down at my toes and was like poking my skin all the way up until I could feel. And they said if I could feel, when I could feel it, let them know. I didn't feel it all the way till they got up to like right here on my chest. And that's how they diagnosed me. So I don't know if that's how you guys got diagnosed or not. Let me know in the comments or in the chat. Marky76 or Jonathan Anderson says spina bifida about L4. That's pretty low. And Marky76 says, so that's no level of feeling below nipples or so. If I do this, if I put my arms out like this, and if you draw an imaginary line between my ring finger and middle finger, and all the way across to this side, basically from there and down, I can't feel. So this bottom part of my arm, I can't feel, but I can feel the top part. All right, well, we are at 1 hour, so I'll go ahead and close out this stream. I want to thank everybody for watching, and hopefully I will be live again next Friday, same time, basically an hour ago, which is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Maxwell says that he's a C5 complete 8 months out. Well, that's what level I was diagnosed with. And so I hope my videos help you, man. I will see you guys next week, hopefully. Thanks for watching.